Good day everyone, my name is Cathy Tampole from BS Abi 1C. Our topic for today is all about the structure and features of viruses. I know this topic was so familiar with us, especially what is a virus? So let's start. What is a virus? A virus is a tiny infectious particle that can reproduce only by infecting the host cell. Viruses command the host cell and use its resources to make more viruses, basically reprogramming it to become a virus factory because they can't reproduce by themselves without a host. So that's a virus. That is the first meaning of a virus. If you can see the picture on the right side, it represents a features and structure of a virus. This is the second definition of a virus. Viruses are not considered living, nor do viruses have cells. They're very small, much smaller than the cells of living things, and basically just a packages of nucleic acid and protein. That is the second meaning of a virus. Yes, it is true that viruses are not considered living, nor do viruses have cell. Yeah, it is right that do viruses have cells. The third meaning of a virus. Still, viruses have some important features in common with cell-based life. For instance, they have nucleic acid genomes based on the same genetic code that's used in your cell and the cells of all living creatures. Also, like cell-based life, viruses have genetic variation and can evolve. So, viruses can evolve. So, even though they don't meet the definition of life, viruses seem to be in a questionable zone. Maybe viruses are actually undead, like zombies or vampires. That is the third definition of a virus.
Now let's talk about the structure of a virus. There are a lot of different viruses in the world. A lot, it means many. Viruses vary a ton of different sizes, shapes, and life cycles. If you're curious, visit Viral Zone website to view different viruses, different features of viruses. Now let's talk about a few key features that is common in a virus. First, a protective protein shell or a capsid. Next is a nucleic acid genome made of DNA or RNA. Last is a layer of membrane called the envelope. But envelope is not common in all viruses. Let's look a little closer. First is A. Helical capsid. Example of helical capsid is the tobacco mosaic virus. As you can see in the illustration, inside the capsid is the RNA, and capsid is composed of capsomer. It composed of capsomers that, as you can see, small circles. So, example B is icosahedral capsid. Example of icosahedral capsid is the adenovirus. As you can see in the second illustration, inside the capsid is a DNA, and outside the capsid is a glycoprotein. Now it has a glycoprotein. Next example is a multiple helical capsids spherical viral envelope. Example of it is the influenza virus. As you can see, inside the capsid is the RNA. But outside the capsid, it has now a viral envelope that protects the capsid. Last is the glycoproteins that looks like tentacles. Next example is the complex capsid icosahedral helical tail. Example of it is the bacteriophage. As you can see in the first illustration, it has a head. Inside the head it has a DNA. It has a tail sheath, and the legs is a tail fiber that is looks like spider legs. Next example is the human immunodeficiency virus. Human virus is composed of glycoproteins, RNA capsid, reverse transcriptase, and a lipid membrane. Next example is the Ebola virus. In the Ebola virus, it has polymerase, lipid membrane, a capsid, and the RNA. And that is all few features of a virus.
Good morning, I am Brix Sanchez, reporter for the virus capsids. So what is capsid of a virus? The capsid or a protein shell of a virus is made up of many protein molecules, not just a big one or a hollow one. Another term for virus capsid is a protein shell. From the words itself, protein, it is obviously made up of many protein molecules or protein molecules. The proteins join to make units called capsonomers, which together make up the capsid. Before the capsid is made up, the proteins join together to make the capsonomers, which later became the capsid of a virus. Capsid proteins are always encoded by the virus genome, meaning that it is the virus, not the host cell, that provides instruction for making them. The form or shapes of a virus capsids doesn't depend on the host cell, but it is on a virus itself. It depends what type of virus it is. Capsid come in many forms, but they often take one of the following shapes or variation of these shapes. Icosahedral capsids have 20 faces and named after the 20-sided shape called the icosahedron. From the word icosahedron, meaning it is a 20-sided polygon. As you can see, there's a photo of icosahedron. Example of virus who have these types of capsid icosahedron is the adenovirus. The next one is the filamentous. Filamentous capsid are named after the linear wooden thread like the appearance. They may be called a rod-shaped or helical. It is a rod-shaped capsid, as you can see in the photos. Example of this virus who have these types of capsids is the tobacco mosaic virus. This is also one of example of filamentous capsid. This virus structures of Ebola virus. Head-tail. These capsid are kind of hybrid between the filamentous or icosahedral shapes. They basically consist of icosahedral head attached to a filamentous tail. These types of virus capsids, the head-tail, is the combination of icosahedral and the filamentous virus. On the top is the icosahedron and the bottom is the filamentous. Example of this virus who have these types of or forms of capsid is the bacteriophage. The fourth one is the multihelical capsid. Example of this is the influenza virus. And the last one, and the last example of capsid of a virus is the P24 capsid protein. We can see these types of virus capsids in human immunodeficiency virus, or also known as HIV. This photo shows what it looks like. Thank you.
So now, let's proceed to the viral infection. What is viral infection? In everyday life, we tend to think of a viral infection as a nasty collection of symptoms we get when we catch a virus, such as flu or the chicken pox. But what's actually happening in your body when you have a virus? At the microscope scale, a viral infection means that many viruses are using your cells to make more copies of themselves. Next is the viral life cycle. For a typical virus, the life cycle can be divided into 5 broad steps. First is the attachment. The virus recognizes and binds to a host cell via a receptor molecule on the cell's surface. Next is the entry. The virus on its genetic enters the cell. And the third is genome replication and gene expression. The vital genome is copied and its genes expressed to make viral protein. The fourth is assembly. New viral particles are assembled from the genomic copies and viral protein. And the last is release. Completed viral particles exit the cell and can infect another cell.